Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lizzy. I'm the host here at Lizzy's Nails channel, and welcome everyone. Excuse my hands. I have some growth since I did my nails, and I have really put my nails through it. I don't know if you can tell from the distance, but it's been quite roughed up, and this one broke just a little bit. You can even tell by here it broke just a little bit. So it is what it is. I am planning to do my nails again, but in today's video we are going to compare the Flexi Stamper from Maniology with one that I found on Amazon. I don't know how many versions of this there are. I'm sure there has to be more than just the one that I found, but that happened to be the one that I found. And so what today's video is going to entail is the comparison of the Maniology's version of the Flexi Stamper versus the Amazon brand that I found, Flexi Stamper. So not sure if that's what they call it, but I will be presenting some screenshots and prices here so you can be informed, and then also put in the link of the one that I found in Amazon. So without further ado, let me go grab them and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so here I have both versions of the Flexi Stamper. This one I recently purchased, and you guys probably saw my previous video of the Maniology haul that I had, and I was waiting to open it and compare it with this one. Originally I had purchased this one because it is cheaper. I'm not gonna lie, it is cheaper. But then I got it and then I said, wow, the quality of it isn't so great. And then I thought, you know what, it would be a good idea to compare them both. So I'm gonna go ahead and compare it today, see for myself if it was worth that little bit more versus what I spent on this one. Now off the bat, I can already tell, because I've seen this product online and I've seen it on some videos. I can already tell, obviously, the size may be a little bit bigger, if not probably the same size, but a little bit bigger. And to me, from what I've seen on videos, it looks like the quality of the Maniology is way better. Is not aesthetically pleasing, the one I bought from Amazon, but the Maniology is. And then right off the bat, this only came this on its own. I'll put a picture. If anything extra came, which I doubt, I think a scraper may have come with it, but not a big deal. You know, I have tons of scrapers, so the not coming with or with it was not going to make a difference to me. But the quality just doesn't seem that great, and that's all it came with. Now here it's saying it includes one stamper and one scrape card. So I'm assuming that's the stamper that they're referring to, the Flexi Stamper, and the scraper, just like the one on Amazon. So you know what, let me go ahead and look at my purchase and see if that's exactly what it means. Okay, so yes, the Amazon one did only come with the scraper. I hope you guys can see that. And then this one only costs $7.99. But I mean, right off the bat you can tell it's very, you know, plain. I'm not saying it's, you know, it doesn't break easily or anything like that, but it could if you're aggressive with it. And so it just comes with the scraper. I'm assuming the Maniology Flexi Stamper is the same. And I will link this one below if you'd like. Now let's go ahead and open the excuse me, the Maniology one. Let's just compare the size, the quality, and all that good stuff. It's the first time I'm seeing it in person. Oh yeah, it's lots bigger. Lots bigger than the one on Amazon. I'm not sure if you guys can see how much bigger it is, but it's definitely bigger. Oh, it's wider. Let me take this out of the bag. definitely wider. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. It's definitely wider. See? Definitely wider than the one from Amazon. Again, to me, the quality looks a lot better. This, if I were to completely bring it, it comes right off because it has that sort of like a screw-like feel to it, and it has that little portion that pushes onto the silicone for the stamper. Okay, and then it also has a lid. Now this one, it does not. I'm assuming you twist this. Yes, you twist it up. It doesn't come out from there, it stays in there, and so you twist it, and that's as far as it goes. Okay, and then you untwist, and that's as far as it goes. Whereas for this one, I can, sorry, that's the portion that goes just on the stamper. I can completely let it go and let the pressure off. I'm assuming that is the same way here, because I do see a small gap between the actual silicone stamper and the thing that pushes the silicone stamper. Okay, and so does that. There's a gap, but it's a lot looser. Definitely almost have to take it all the way out to completely take out the pressure, but you can always just take a little bit of the pressure and it'll still be in there, and then push it to, I don't know if you guys can see it kind of pushing out, and that's as far as it goes. But then the pressure is relieved. Let me see if I can give you a closer demonstration. I'm not sure if I'm in camera, so I apologize because of the angle I'm in, but I'm gonna go ahead and push it through, and you're gonna see the silicone start to kind of pop out a little bit, and I'm doing it all the way, and that's as far as it goes. Okay, and it pops up to that extent, and again, you're gonna relieve the pressure, and that's fully relieving the pressure, and it's still in there, but it's loose. So let's put the top on this one. Now on this one, the pressure is already off. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the pressure on, and that's it. That's as far as it goes. I'm just trying to see the difference in the silicone and see if it actually changes in size, and it does. Kind of shrinks a little bit when you pull off, and then when you're pushing, it kind of like widens a little bit. But that's the whole point. The loosening and stretching of the silicone is what's going to make the image bigger or the image smaller. For example, if you want to shrink one, I would assume that you would push it all the way out to give it that stretch, stamp, then loosen it up to shrink the image. And I'm sure it's the same for the one from Amazon. But again, the quality to me is so much better. I mean, it just seems like it's not gonna fall right off. Like when I tried to take the lid off of this, the whole stamper comes off and it reveals that. Whereas on the Maniology one, that's not the problem because there's some form of lock. Let me see if I can show you guys. There's a form of lock in here that prevents the stamper from coming all the way off when you're trying to remove the lid, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that because with this one, I'm resorting to, you know, hold on to that piece and open it, which is not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's just the convenience. That's all. But the same thing goes with the bottom portion. You know, I don't have to worry about this coming loose. It's constantly on, and I appreciate that. And the other part about this being inconvenient of locking and not locking is because if I need to stamp the image, I need to be able to remove it and stamp my image. That's the whole purpose of those portions being detachable. And I'm sure you guys knew that. But I'm just explaining it. Sorry, you guys. Let me push this some more in and close it. There we go. So to me, oh, and it also comes with the scraper. So yes, it's just that you get your scraper and your stamper. No extra heads or anything like that. I'm assuming you can use, like, for example, let me grab a couple more stampers from here. So let's say, like, for example, is this any bigger? Actually, no, I couldn't do that. I was gonna say you can probably buy replacement heads just like you can with this one and not just put any one in there, but this stamper is actually larger than that one. So yeah, you would have to buy a replacement silicone head for that. Excuse me for the noise. So anyway, I think that's the only difference. And I think it counts when the convenience and the quality and how long it's gonna last you. I honestly do believe that the Maniology one will last you. Now, pricing. Let me look for how much the Flexi Stamper is for, let me just look it up. Flexi Stamper. It's $15, and you can buy a replacement Flexi Stamper head. That's the convenience of being able to buy it through them. So it's what, a $8 difference? Worth it for the quality. You know, it's a lot heavier than this one. Worth it for the quality. So it's just an $8 difference. And if you're a fan of Maniology, I'm sure you wouldn't mind paying that. But for those on a very strict budget, and every penny counts, that's why I am comparing the two, and I've already spent the money for both. So if this one breaks, I have a higher quality one that will hopefully stay with me. I do want to do some demonstrations and see if the quality of the stamping itself for each one, it's definitely different or not. One thing I do want to point out though, there is some form of plastic here on behind the stamp head that is securing, I guess, or becomes like a shield in between the silicone stamper and this, and so it's kind of protecting the bottom. Don't know if that matters, but let me see it, because I did not even notice if it was the same. No, it is not. It is not the same for this one, but with this one it looks like the stamper has some form of, I'm not sure if you guys can see, a little layer here, like a stopper for when you're stamping. It will not it won't allow the stamper to come all the way through. It kind of stops it there, and it looks like there's a good amount of I don't want to say pressure, but it helps the stamper kind of stay more in place with the way it's made versus the Amazon one. Besides that little sticker, there is no stopping it from pushing all the way through, because you know when you've had those accidents and you stamp it and the stamper kinds of push back and you have to always fix it, like I have to fix it now, you know, so it pushes back some more. And it looks like to me that when the resistance, when you're expanding it and kind of pushing this thing in to make the image bigger, is enough resistance where the stamper is not popping out. So it's not bad for a $8 Flexi Stamper, or as they call it, a what did Amazon call it? I'm sorry. Let me see if I can pull it back up. Darn it. Let me go back and find it. I apologize, you guys. Didn't mean to not give you what they call it on Amazon. They call it the Rotatable Nail Stamp Silicone Nail Stamper Kit. Mouthful. So it's a rotatable nail stamping, a rotatable stamper. That's what I'm going to call it, rotatable stamper. Again, I will leave it linked down below in the description box for those who may be interested. But now let's do the fun exercise of it all, okay? We're going to do both the shrinking method, the enlarging method, and obviously the regular stamping, so that way we can see all images across the board and how the quality of the stamping itself is done with both of them, and we can kind of help maybe some of you make up your mind if it's worth buying this one or not, or if it's worth buying this one or not, and help you make up your mind. So I'm gonna set up my little station, gonna get some tips out and my little kit to make your own oh my gosh, why does that happen to me? Why did I forget words? To make your own little, I'm gonna put the word here, I'm gonna bring that out, and we're just gonna start having fun, you guys. And I encourage you to bring out your products and your things that you've been dying to play with, and just to see if you can learn how to work with them. I also encourage you to bring that out and join me in playing and having a little fun with these items, so that we can learn how to use them together. All right, you guys, so in getting everything prepped, I was like, you know what, now I have the best idea ever to practice with, like, as far as a design that I am envisioning in my head, but I want to see it come to life to see if it works for me. I've decided to use those extra tips that I complain so much about, that I don't use, to see if I can practice on those, so that way it's not going to waste. I mean, I have plenty of them, so definitely can always practice. So I have gotten, now I decided to use an 8 rather than a 9, because if I use this 9, I don't know. I don't know if anyone with an even smaller nail bed other than my daughters, and I would never use these long nails on my daughters unless I'm making press-ons for them to pretend with, which they have asked for, but I have been very hesitant. But either ways, it's a lot smaller than that one, and so I figured I do want to test it out to see just how small we can make an image. I doubt it's going to be any too small, but I guess it depends on the image. So I'm not going to use a 9. I am going to use an 8 for this demonstration, and I've decided to go with a 0, which is our biggest size in the line. So I'm not putting anything specific on the tip. I'm just using the tip itself. I might put some matte. Should I put some matte? We're just testing it out, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to see if the images can be enlarged or shrunk. So I hope I know what I'm doing. I know I've seen just a couple videos on it, and I'm a little skeptical on my skills to be able to do this, but I'm just gonna go for it. So anyway, we're using for today's demonstration just the black stamping polish from Beauty. I have bought this set a while back, and I haven't touched them at all, you guys, and it's weird because they're still pretty, you know, they're not too thick, they're working, you know, they're working normal, so I'm grateful for that, but I haven't gotten to touch them. So I decided, let me touch some Beauty today, just to make sure that they're still okay and working. I'm still gonna shake it, you know, and do its thing. And I've decided to use one of the newer plates that I purchased, the M565, which is the Mother's Day edition. So we are hopefully going to see how this works. And I ask for your patience because, again, this is the first time I'm using this. Try not to scratch my plate. I'm using this a Flexi Stamper, and I have not tried it before, so if I'm doing it wrong, I apologize. But the images look beautiful. Look how nice and shiny and clean that looks. I would go over it with some acetone or alcohol, but I think that I'm just gonna leave it as is. I'm sure it'll be just fine. So the images here, you guys, in these rows, and half of over here and over here, are like animals. We have ducks, deers, penguins, bears, bunnies, koalas. I forget what this one is. I'm not sure what that one is. koala and what is that, a panda? An owl? I think it's an owl. And this is a sloth. And they are holding a baby. And I figured this would be the perfect. Let me see if I can get it closer without blinding you guys. Hopefully you guys can see the images. If you can't, hopefully the demonstration I do will help you see it. So this is supposed to be, I think, a bear. This is a deer. So I'm trying to get one. Maybe I'll do the penguin. Let's do the penguin. So we'll try to enlarge the penguin and also shrink it. I just hope it fits in this in this tip. We shall see. So here we go. We're going to use the black stamping polish from Beauty, scraper from Maniology. We're going to test out the Amazon one first. And in order to make it larger, you have to have it shrunk, I believe, right? Right? Yes, you have to have it normal, as I think you have to have it normal, and then you have to kind of push it to get it to stretch out and enlarge. Okay, so we're gonna keep it as normal and see what happens. Right, that's normal. Yes. Okay, here we go. What I want to do is I want to stamp the original image below it. Hopefully the snail will survive in there, and I'm going to release the pressure. Clean this up a little bit. Let me get smudge-free topper. I don't want to ruin the image with it's just a slight larger. It's not that much of a difference, but it is a difference. It's a slight larger. Okay, you guys, so for the shrinking of the image, excuse me, I got one of those little things stuck on me, one of those little tabs, sticky tabs for press on nails. Don't know how that ended up happening, but it did. But anyhow, I traded out the size 8 for a size 6 because I don't think that no matter how small I would like to get it, that it's gonna fit even this size. But I'm trying to test out if you can shrink an image or not. So I'm going to push it out as far as I can possibly push it. As long as it lets me, that's as far as it goes. So it's pushed out. See how it's right on the lid of the so it's, oh goodness, you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Like how, let me have that ready. And there's another nuisance. You see how crooked the stamper head is? It's like, if it's supposed to stop it from being pushed out, why is it still being pushed out? Anyway, I have it ready to stamp, so it's stretched out to see if we can shrink it when we release it. So, why isn't this staying on the press-on stand? So, here are the 3 images. We have the enlarged one, the regular one, and the shrunken one, which I think I am happy that it fits in a 6 because I sometimes fit into a 7 on my pinky. So I'm glad because that means I can get a nice full image of what I want on there. Now, I guess I'll test it out. We shall see. And I just want to test the other one out and then kind of see how reverse stamping plays into this. If I wanted to stamp an image larger in a reverse stamp style with that technique, reverse stamping a large image, and I'm talking about a large image, am I able to keep it on the stamper, do the reverse stamping, then stamp it even with this in the way? And if someone tell me out there, if once the image is stretched and you remove this for you to stamp it, if it stays stretched. I don't think it does. I could be wrong. We'll see. We'll see. Let's continue playing. So I have the 3 images for my rotating stamper from Amazon. And now we are going to test the Maniology one, the regular stamping, the enlarged stamping, and the shrunken one. So I'm gonna, kind of reset everything here with new tips and everything, and then we can kind of compare. Okay. see, I mean, it's not centered, but let me bring images here. So we have to the right the rotating stamper from Amazon, and to the left we have the images from Flexi. To me, they all look the same size. Let's go ahead and compare them. Sorry. So to me, it did the same size. It was larger. Obviously, it's kind of the same for the regular stamping image. Quality as the Flexi Stamper. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna clean up real quick, and then I'm gonna kind of give you my final. Okay, you guys, so this is my final thought. I'm not even sure how final it is because I still want to research on, you know, when the image is enlarged, you know, if I don't think so, but if I am capable of removing something where I can see. So it's not completely final, but at this moment, this is my evaluation of what I've experienced. Regardless of this being blue or not, the stamping still came out beautifully. This one was centered, this one was centered, this one was not. These obviously I was just trying to put the images so I can display them all together in one nail. This is the rotating stamper here on this end, these two. And these are the images for the Flexi Stamper from middle to the left, from the Flexi Maniology Stamper. So they look the same, they work the same. I think the difference is that one has a blue bottom and this one has a clear. And obviously that is a little bit of an obstruction, or like it gets in the way of you to be able to really get the image stamped where you want to stamp it when it's the larger image. Okay, because I know when it's regular stamping or when you want to shrink it, you can always remove it because you're shrinking it, right? So you can always remove it and stamp it. But is it the same when you're trying to stamp in a larger image? That is my question. So when I try to see if once you push it, right, if it stays expanded, and it doesn't. So there's, in order for you to do a larger image, this has to remain on when you want to stamp it. So I think that's the only issue that I have with the difference, is that I can still see more or less where, I mean, it's not clear, but I have an idea of where I'm stamping it. It still came out crooked for this one. So there's still some sort of obstruction or something in the way that is not allowing me to stamp it in the center because it's not centered. So I think it's the same for both. But I think they work the same. The other difference is that this is $7.99 and I believe this is $14.99. Just a few dollars difference. And it's up to you if you want to spend those extra $6 to $7, because I think this is $14.99, so maybe this the $7 difference, that you you make that decision. I will say that this is a better quality, a better made version of the Flexi stamp or rotating stamp or whatever we want to call it, because this one, when I try to take off just the lid, the entire piece comes out, whereas this one, if I just try to remove the lid, I don't have an issue with that. That's another thing. And then this one does not have the backing here that will help the stamping head not push in too far. At least if there is, it's not big enough or wide enough to really stop the stamping head from pushing in when you're stamping, whereas the Maniology one has a much deeper piece here that helps the stamper head not to push in as too far period. Sorry. Or too far. So I'm sure you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm just trying to be clear as to the differences I see and notice, and hopefully this is helpful to you guys. But honestly, if you don't care about those little things about, you know, okay, well, I can just hold it here to remove it, so who cares? If that's all that matters. And to me, this also, like, it helps with stamping, once again, just the smaller and the regular image, but you have to keep this on just like the Flexi stamper to get the larger image. You have to keep it on. So, I mean, to me, it's the same. Better quality made, so it's obviously going to be a little bit more because of the quality of it, and I can go either way. I'm happy that I ran into this one because I was considering buying this one, and I looked online to see if there was any other versions of them, and this is the one I found. I'm sure there's more. I'm sure you can find more, but this is the one I found, and this is the one I'm going to have linked in the description box for those of you who are interested, who are on that tight budget and just want to save a few extra dollars but still want to be able to use the same technique. I will link this one below, and I will also link the Maniology one along with some discount codes from our beautiful ladies here in YouTube that are brand ambassadors for Maniology. Guys, this is it. This is my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Next time, I'm going to test out the reverse stamping in trying to enlarge an image. Like, in all the hard work that you do painting it, will it stamp exactly the way you want it to stamp? I'm sure that there is a way. I'm going to look at all Maniologies throughout their channel to, you know, anything in reference to the Flexi stamper. I encourage you to do the same. And we'll see, maybe I'll do a little short video on that reverse stamping. Who knows? I'm hoping to get around to doing that. Otherwise, I enjoyed comparing the two. I enjoyed my time here with you guys, and I once again want to say thank you for all your love and support throughout my time here on YouTube. I know I'm not as consistent as I used to be, and so I still appreciate those who still show up and support. So thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye, guys.